One thing I strongly agree with the Deputy on is the need to set a target to have a number of people from ethnic minorities in areas of the public service. We have a health service that's very diverse, although less so as you go up towards the senior positions, not so much in the Gardaí, not so much in the Defence Forces, not so much in the education sector, as the Deputy mentioned, not at all in the civil service, which is very white, including the Department of Equality, for example, and that actually needs to change. So we need to have, I think, a target for people who come from ethnic minority backgrounds, but also dedicated recruitment campaigns to encourage people, because we do need a generation of young people growing up in Ireland who are people of colour to see black and brown school principals, judges, comhairle perhaps in the future. Who knows? Visibility and opportunity is really important.
Oh, you bigot. Can't you be a little more open-minded? Come on. That's so like 18th century, you know. Well, they told us that if we didn't maintain those 18th century values, that the Republic would not stand. And so this is the condition we find ourselves in today.
Do you consider yourself a white nationalist?
I have told you what I consider myself, a race realist and a white advocate. I don't use the term white nationalist.
I know you don't use it, but
yes.
In terms of what white nationalism means, which is that America should be a homeland for whites, you believe in that.
I think whites deserve a homeland. Whites deserve a place in which they are the unquestioned majority, in which they can pursue their destiny free from the unwanted embrace of people unlike themselves. And I think all people should have that right.
Do you consider yourself a white supremacist?
Just a moment. We as whites have the right to be us, and only we can be us. And we can be us only if we have a territory that is unquestionably one in which we are the majority. White supremacy is a word that should be completely retired.
And I also live in Maple Grove.
Yes, sir.
And the day after the election, someone wrote on the Maple Grove High School boys' bathroom the N-word and go back to Africa. And I'm raising a daughter there. And so I want to know what you're going to do about white supremacy. Thank you.
Well, I actually challenge you, because I don't think there is white supremacy. I don't think there is such thing. We are not supreme. Human beings are supreme. And I say that tongue-in-cheek perhaps, but it's absolutely true. You know, kids who do that, learn it. You know, we're not... You know, I remember my children in pre-kindergarten, when referring to friends, they had a number of friends of color. One particular kid, I remember they were referring to this little boy. And it took me, I couldn't understand who my daughter was talking about. She said, you know, the little boy who wears those shorts every day, and I couldn't remember. Who wears those funny shoes? No, I couldn't remember. The one who wears glasses? No. The fourth or fifth thing on her list was his color. And I thought to myself, how is it that like 5-year-old kids are oblivious? They look at the person, maybe the clothes, but the person. That means that they have to be taught that, you know? They have to be taught that. There are parents teaching their kids to hate, you know, and that sickens me. You know, and we can legislate to some degree, but at the end of the day, you know, I call on people of faith, and I call on churches, and I call on human beings, and I call on everybody who can make a difference in these lives to intervene in these kids' lives, because if they're growing up doing that, you know, that's just the beginning of what's going to be a traumatic existence for both the perpetrator and those he or she affects. So to answer your question, do I have an answer for that? Other than compassion? No, not particularly. Other than certainly civil rights legislation and anti-racism laws, and we have some good ones in place. If there's something that you think I should know about that we should be doing, I would like to turn the microphone back to you, because I feel the same passion for it. And because of my humanity, I find it so appalling and disgusting that I don't think it shouldn't be about laws. It should be about raising decent human beings. But I'd like to.
I remember standing right here talking with all of you after a murderer came to El Paso and shot 45 of us. He was there because of racial hatred, and quite frankly, the language in his manifesto was no different than what I've seen some supporters of this bill use outside of this building. Let me be clear. I don't think anyone here has those kinds of beliefs. I really don't. But the tensions we've seen even just tonight show how legislation like this hits many members in many communities. And I'm asking earnestly asking earnestly of those supporters of this bill to just sit with that, to think about how we're receiving it and why. Bills like this have an effect that goes far beyond the words that are on the page. I want to talk about both what this bill does and what it means and why we need this amendment. I hear that HB 4 is just creating a state-level illegal entry crime. If that's all it did, I'd say it's a bad approach that will waste tax dollars, but that's about all I'd have to say about it. However, this is much more. Look at the affirmative defenses section. It's a list of ways a non-citizen can lawfully be in the United States. But an affirmative defense is something you raise after you are arrested, held in jail, and eventually get to your trial. Let me put that another way. HB 4 allows officers to arrest someone who is lawfully in this country. HB 4 allows officers to jail someone who is lawfully in this country. HB 4 allows officers to prosecute someone who's lawfully in this country.
To show his face, even though he's a minor, because of the seriousness of the incident and the charges. Les Trent reports.
He looks like he could be in the principal's office for some silly prank at school, but this 12-year-old is in huge trouble with the law.
You're also charged with attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer.
Travis O'Brien and a 14-year-old girl are accused of opening fire on cops during a 30-minute shootout.
Gunshot fired. Everybody get hard cover. They were coming out to kill cops.
The 12-year-old did not speak during today's hearing, at which the judge referred to him as Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien.
Cops say the boy and the girl ran away from a home for troubled youth. They broke into a house and found 2 shotguns, an AK-47, and a handgun. When cops arrived, the girl reportedly said to the boy, "I'm gonna roll this down like GTA," referring to the violent video game Grand Theft Auto.
Shooting out the rear window toward my direction.
Deputies ducked for cover behind trees.
They just busted out the window in the back. Stand by. Female has a shotgun in her hand. Stand by. Put the gun down now! She's got the AK and the shotgun. She's wrapping it around the top of her neck.
Then came the stunning realization that they were being fired upon by children.
Hey guys, you hold behind hard cover. Let's not shoot these kids, man. Let's just hold on. Take our time. 10-4, they're shooting at me. She's re-racking around inside the shotgun. All right, let's not engage them anymore. Let's not challenge them. Just hold behind hard cover. We're just going to hang out here.
You can hear one officer praying it doesn't end badly.
Don't make me do this. Don't do this.
You can hear the restraint of the deputies pleading not to have to use their guns.
Cops say the girl, seen in this photo given to the news media by her father, was shot and wounded when she refused orders to drop the shotgun and opened fire from behind a parked car.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10 bullet holes.
30 seconds later, young Travis O'Brien came out of the house with his hands raised.
They shot through the bedroom window. They shot from the garage door. I mean, this is like Bonnie and Clyde.
Now these juvenile Bonnie and Clyde desperados have to face the music.
You're also charged with attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer.
And they decided that it would be wise to establish a separate state in Israel.
And all of the world powers got together, the white world powers, I should say, got together and helped all of these white Jews to establish a separate state in the heart of dark-skinned people's territory.
Here's Stadium, where our women basketball teams play.
We know can dunk, but good fundamentals.
That more fun to watch.
Let me tell you something now. You listen to me, and you listen to me closely. I don't give a shit about what happened to you.